Negotiations are led by a mix of tax experts and diplomats that are savvy in these UN processes, which is something new as well and might also change the way tax cooperation is done. Focus on international tax and global tax governance. I've been working on these topics for around 7 years now. And even in this relatively short time, they have undergone quite profound changes. One of them is the new process on a UN Framework Convention on Tax. This process really took off at the end of 2022, but 2024 has been the year where really substantial negotiations have started. My colleague Martin Hirsten and we attended some of these sessions as observers, and so could observe clearly what is going on. So a few things are worth mentioning that stood out. First observation is that countries work in quite clearly defined coalitions, which is standard for many UN processes, but something new for tax, which shows that even more that we have entered a new, more political era of tax policy making at the global level. Second, since there was a hard deadline to produce this terms of reference document, negotiations became quite intense quickly. In fact, countries did not reach an agreement on the text, so it was approved by a majority of Global South countries. Main controversies that were not resolved evolve around how to cooperate, so the procedures, and what to cooperate on, so the specific tax topics. The final draft of this terms of reference is quite ambitious from the perspective of the Global South, but it does not have the full buy-in from the Global North. Now, this may not always be problematic because countries can also strengthen South-South cooperation, for instance. But for some topics, especially when it comes to regulating how multinational enterprises are taxed, it might be necessary to secure this buy-in in the future. Going forward, one key strategic decision for proponents of the process will be whether to focus on incremental improvements to the status quo, which would require seeking such broad consensus with the Global North, or whether to develop more ambitious solutions at the expense of involving all countries all the time. Related to that is another important decision on the nature of cooperation that will be undertaken. So should the work rather focus on developing new technical standards, technical solutions, or should it rather focus on finding political agreements on the conditions under which certain countries must implement certain standards or not? Over the next years, with the ICTD, we aim to further contribute to these debates, also through our research on how existing standards are implemented in lower income countries and on what concretely works well and what could be improved.